Thank you again for choosing Trapp Cadillac Chevrolet.
Trapp Cadillac Chevrolet has been serving South Louisiana for over 50 years. That's right, 50 years. No matter how much Trapp has grown, you can count on hometown feel, friendly service every time you stop it. Our unmatched service and diverse Chevrolet, Cadillac, and pre-owned inventory has set us apart as the preferred car dealer in South Louisiana. We're also known for our outstanding auto repair service, changing your oil quickly and easy financing.
We promise to always give the most in your auto buying experience here at Trapp Cadillac Chevrolet in Houma.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Time. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, licensed clinical social worker with Terrebonne Home Care. Very glad you're joining us. However you may be joining us, we appreciate it very much. And you know, when we have updates from Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office, call Blake Tabor. Blake, thanks for being here, man.
I appreciate you having me, Keith.
Absolutely. All right. Of course, First Lieutenant Blake, talking a little bit about this recent situation. Tell us a little bit about what happened with Mr. Carter.
Yeah, so look, right on the heels of Mardi Gras getting ready to be starting, this coming Friday. So this was Saturday, the 15th, shortly after 5 p.m. Our patrol division was called to a establishment in the 6600 block of Park Avenue, where there was a loud music complaint at that particular location. That quickly turned into a suspect on scene with a firearm and a disturbance. Yeah. So, of course, anytime we hear that, we are stepping things up and we're getting there quickly. Once we did that, we ran into a large amount of victims, in excess of 15 victims, who were reporting that a male subject, who was later identified as a Kenneth Joseph Carter III, he's a 42-year-old male from Houma, you see him photographed here, had brandished a weapon and threatened at least 15 patrons of that particular establishment because he was aggravated about the loud music. So ultimately, of course, anytime we are investigating this, as we always know, video is everywhere. So one of the victims was able to provide law enforcement with a copy of the video, which confirmed all of the accusations against him. And with some pretty disturbing material, as I understand it. So they quickly went to a local residence in the 100 block of Westview Drive where Mr. Carter resides. He ultimately answered the door. They quickly took him into custody. That, again, led to a quick search of his property where the weapon was recovered. And I'd like to point out that it was, in fact, loaded with one in the chamber.
Still loaded?
Still loaded. With an additional magazine to go along with that weapon. So ultimately, they did a brief interview with him. He did confirm that he was aggravated at the loud music because it woke up his young child. He went, armed himself, and then went to the establishment and apparently did what he felt was right. As we know, it is clearly not right for you to do this to people in any way, shape, or form.
Right.
Ultimately, he was arrested for 15 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm, which each count is a felony charge for 15 individual victims that had a weapon pointed at them for no reason.
Right.
Ultimately, he was later released on a $150,000 bond by local judges.
Yeah, and of course, one of the things Sheriff Sonia mentioned, how the patrol division did an incredible job investigating the incident. Could have ended much differently, and thank God for their quick response.
Absolutely.
To be able to do that. And again, Kenneth J. Carter III here, pictured here. And you know what your child to sleep soundly is one thing, but trying to control a situation with a loaded weapon where you threaten 15 plus people, man, that's just a really bad idea.
Yeah, and look, Keith, again, we talk about this all the time, and we think this stuff is just common knowledge and people have common sense. If you have a disturbance that's going on or something you don't like, law enforcement should not have to beg you to not take the law into your own hands. That's what we are here for.
Right.
Allow us to do our job. It would have kept Mr. Carter out of jail.
Right.
And it certainly would have kept those 15 victims much safer.
Right. From the potentially being assaulted with.
Absolutely.
Being shot and killed.
Absolutely.
With somebody who's got one in the chamber.
Accidents happen very easily.
Yeah.
We see that all the time.
Especially when you're upset. The interesting thing is being upset that your child is sleeping and you want the young child to sleep. Well, how much time are you going to get seeing them sleep? You're going to jail.
Absolutely.
15 felony counts.
And look, we know this, right? Once that round leaves the chamber, things cannot be stopped.
No. No,
You've
they
already
get
put
much,
things in
much
motion.
worse. Right.
They become much worse, and,
Yeah.
and it could change people's lives forever.
Right, are in those. And so thank y'all again for the efficacy, the efficiency getting out there and being able to handle that situation.
Absolutely.
It leads us to talk about that we're going to have a little bit more information. I think we'll be able to have you come back to talk a little bit about some of these gun laws that have changed.
Absolutely. So look, the hot bake topic now, right, is July 4th of 2024, all of the concealed carry permit laws changed, and that relates to open carry, concealed carry, and, we've become a state where we're allowing our residents to be able to do this
Right.
once they reach the age of 18 under certain criteria.
Right.
So this has been a hotbed topic with Mardi Gras coming up. We've been seeing it on our social media. We are actually releasing some very detailed information starting tomorrow.
Great.
I believe we'll actually be back here talking about all that detailed information.
Right.
So again, we just want people to stop speculating about what they should or shouldn't do. We are going to make sure that the public is educated. And as always, if you have any questions, we can always be reached at 985-876-2500. And you can speak to an officer or deputy personally and get those questions answered.
Right, especially, and you can know what you can do and certainly what you can't
Absolutely.
do. We got a few things, Jay, put it up if you don't mind. Just a few things about violations that could result in an arrest. Just be aware of some of these things. Go ahead.
Yeah, and so look, some of these, whenever we
Sounds
post
silly,
these, people, it becomes a comedy fest,
Right.
and we certainly understand why. We're looking at the one materials known as silly string or snap pops. Is a violation, and they go, wow, snap pops and silly string, how dangerous. Those things absolutely can be dangerous.
Right.
How many times have we heard snap pops go off and we believe that is a firearm being shot off, or you hear it from a distance? And again, what we're going to allude to tomorrow with weapons being on people,
Right.
things can get crazy very fast once you introduce alcohol, marijuana, illegal narcotics.
Snap pop, right. All of those things that can
All
lead
of
to
those
bad
things.
judgment and decisions, or they can end somebody's life. And
Absolutely.
lots of things that can go wrong. So again, we're going to put this list out again tomorrow and share
Absolutely.
that with everybody. But Blake, thank you for kind of letting us know what we can expect. Always glad to get that clarification. I've had several friends in law enforcement, former friends in law enforcement, and I kind of call and ask them about what those things mean. I'm really glad personally to be able to get those conceal weapon options and what is within the law and what isn't.
It's going to be some very interesting information, and we certainly want everybody to be aware of it.
We appreciate it as always.
All right. Thank you so
Blake.
much for having me.
All right, guys, that'll do it for this particular segment, but don't go anywhere. A lot more Bayou time when we continue.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.